Morning. It's Thursday, December 1st. It's the last month of the year, the first day of the last month of the year, and on Tuesday the U.S. national soccer team won a game against Iran. A very exciting game if you were rooting for the USA. They won by 1-0. An early goal, and one of their better players was injured when he scored the goal and crashed into the goalie. But in any event, that leads the U.S. to the knockout round, and they will be playing on Saturday at 10 a.m. against the Netherlands, who are known as the Orange, because that's what they wear, completely orange uniforms. And the Netherlands are favored, which they should be. They're probably a better, more experienced team than the Americans, but the Americans played very well against all of their opponents during the preliminary round. I'll call it the preliminary. They tied England 0-0, and they tied Wales when they committed a foul late in the game that allowed Wales to score the tying goal. So they did a good job, even though their offense was meager. 2 goals in 3 games. Now this is, I think, the 7th time that the United States has reached the knockout round in the World Cup, and only one time did they win a game in the knockout round out of their previous 6 efforts. So let's hope that they do much better this week against the Netherlands. I will be watching. I've watched a lot of the games. I will be watching. The Netherlands, a good, solid club, but they're not one of the top teams in the world. So the U.S. has a chance. The only thing they really have to do is capitalize on some more of the opportunities than they have. They've had plenty of opportunities to score goals during the tournament, but it hasn't worked out. They've only scored 2 goals, as I said. So it's wait and see, and I'm anxious to do that. And now on to other business. America's a great nation. Not as great as it used to be, but still a great nation. And there's one promise that we did not fulfill. And it's on the hands now, or in the hands now, of a group of American veterans who served in Afghanistan. And these veterans are receiving emails daily from citizens in Afghanistan who helped the Americans during the time of our occupation of their country. And now they have been left behind. And this group of veterans has been trying to get them out of the country, slowly but surely. But they are bombarded by emails constantly from the people that they are trying to help about how close the Taliban is to ruining their lives or killing them or attacking them or whatever it is that is going on in Afghanistan. And these veterans are very angry at the U.S. government because the U.S. government has ceased to help them in any way, shape, or form with the task that was promised to these people in Afghanistan. So this is a terrible, terrible blight on our society. And it's a very quiet blight because nobody really knows about it, right? But these Americans came forward with a video that described the things that they have gone through in order to help our Afghan allies. Those who spent years working with us during our 20-year occupation of that country. Many of these people worked for over 10 years of their lives to help Americans, and they're stuck in the country, and their lives and their families' lives are at danger constantly. And many of the veterans that have helped them have been obsessed by this task and has ruined their lives in the United States. Several cases where their women, their wives and girlfriends have left them because they have spent too much time trying to help the Afghani people who were left behind. And so this is a terrible thing. And many of these guys had to reduce their working hours in order to commit to the task at hand of getting these Afghans out into the United States. And I say, why should they have this problem? Why shouldn't they be getting some support from our government? We seem to find time for lots of other things that don't mean as much to the world as this means to these veterans. veterans. These veterans served honorably for years, 2, 3, 4, 5 tours of duty in Afghanistan. And they feel committed to those people that were helping us during that occupation. Let's call it an occupation because that's what it was. So we have this group of veterans who have given up their personal lives and in many cases destroyed their family relationships to help these Afghans. And as I said before, they've given up money also. So why? Why doesn't the U.S. find a couple of $100,000 or $1 million or so to help these people? Why isn't there an organization, a formal organization, set up to help the Afghans who were left behind? There must be some way that we could have negotiated some of these people out of the country. It's a very, very sad, sad story. I have no solution for it. It's a sad story. It's beyond my scope to help these people and figure out how to help them. But when you see the pictures of these people trapped in their houses, forced to change their phones on a regular basis because they don't want the Taliban finding them, forced to move around within their own universe, and the U.S. ex-veterans, the veterans, and the U.S. veterans are suffering right along with them. But this is a story that's not being told to anybody. But they released this video, which I highly recommend. And if anybody wants to see it, I'll be happy to send them a copy of the video, because it's out, distributed by the New York Times. So that's my second story for today. A sad, sad story of people trapped hopelessly in a desperate situation, and a group of veterans who've given their lives to our country in military service are now giving their lives as private citizens to rescuing people that we should have gotten out of that country a year and a half ago. Terrible situation. So I'll leave you with that. Bye.